Hi, I'm Andy and welcome to my channel about crypto. Today's video is supposed to be about the metaverse and few interesting projects in that space. But after Bitcoin's flash crash on Friday, I decided to focus on a slightly different area, and basically that's what's next for the crypto market. Of course, that flash crash was probably quite scary for quite a few people, and it has certainly at least short-term impact on what will happen next. And also, it changed somewhat how I make my investments, what I invest in next. So let's have a look at current situation and let's see what's likely to happen next and what are the opportunities here. So here we have Bitcoin daily candles, and of course we had this massive dip down to around 42k. That in itself is not an issue, this long wick down, because largely we recovered from it. And stuff like that, it's largely irrelevant as long as the recovery happens rapidly. However, what's slightly worrying is that this recovery stalled around 47, 48k level, and then we closed the day just above 49k, which is of course below our bull market support band, 20-week SMA, which is this purple line on the chart, and that's currently around 51k. So we had a close below this bull market support band. We then had another day where we closed below it, and today so far we're not exactly doing great either. Of course there's still quite a bit of time left, so there is still a good chance that we may close above it, but at the moment, if anything, it looks like we're going a little bit lower. If we look at weekly candles, of course it was end of the week, so we had that weekly close below 20-week SMA, which is the red line on this chart. And the second support level we should be now looking at is the blue line, which is 50-week SMA. And currently we seem to be just about holding that level. And it's really important that on a weekly time frame we stay above it. So that 50-week SMA is around 47, 48k. Of course, those moving averages continue going up a little bit. So let's say that it's around 48k, and our 20-week is around sort of 51, 52k. These are the levels we are looking at. So at the very least, we should stay above 48k level. Ideally, we would like to see return to 51, 52k and staying above that. And essentially, this week is really crucial to see what will happen over those next few days and how we will perform against these two levels. Does it mean that we are entering bear market? Well, I'm sure a lot of people are concerned about it, especially those who may not be in the space particularly long, and maybe that was the first crash of this magnitude they experienced. A lot of people were expecting end of this market cycle by the end of this year, or at least Bitcoin going up to 100k by the end of the year. And of course, well, that's quite clearly not happening. So I'm sure a lot of people are concerned about the possibility of entering bear market. In this channel, I've been talking about this market stretching well into 2022 pretty much from the very beginning. I was expecting that the peak of the market cycle may be in spring. Recently, we're starting talking more about the possibility of that being in summer or even autumn next year. And certainly after the last few days, when it became clear that we won't have parabolic move up towards the end of the year as many people were expecting, I think it's far more likely that the cycle will extend well into next year. So I think summer to autumn is quite likely time frame. So basically, in my opinion, we're looking at the very least another 6 months, and more likely something like 9 to 12 months of this market cycle, of a bull market cycle. Now, of course, the longer the cycle is, the more likely it is that we will have quite long periods of sideways movement and quite significant dips on the way up. And we also discussed that it was likely to happen. One thing that did surprise me a little bit is the fact that we dipped below our bull market support band. To be honest, I was not expecting that to happen. I was expecting bounce back from that level. But at the end of the day, well, crypto is still very volatile, and Bitcoin, even though it's less volatile than many other cryptos, it is still a volatile asset. So those dips are expected if you want to see Bitcoin hitting 100k, 150k and above. Is it likely that this is the beginning of a prolonged bear market? I don't think so. I would be concerned if we dip to or below Bitcoin's fair value, which is this yellow band here. And the average of that is the line in the middle, which is currently around 31k. If we break below that level, then yes, there is pretty good chance that we will be entering bear market. If we look at that in the past, let's put it on a log scale. Basically, whenever we dipped below this midline in the past, we did in fact enter bear market. If we look at, okay, that's better. So it happened here, and we had this prolonged bear market. It happened here again, and this happened, and here again. Right now, we are nowhere near that, so I wouldn't worry too much until we stay above that level. But of course, nothing is ever certain. But well, at the moment, that would require us to dip another 16, 17,000 to get to that level, and then we'll have to stay below that band. It's not just a week and an immediate recovery. It's a prolonged period where we stay, of at least a few days, where we stay below that level. That would be concerning. So at the moment, I think we're still fine. So in my opinion, out of the most realistic scenarios, the worst case one is entering a few weeks of sideways movement around 46 to 50k level. Something similar to what we experienced this summer, but hopefully not quite as long. And of course now at a higher price level. And that alone, the fact that the price keeps moving up, even when we re-enter those reaccumulation phases, that alone is very bullish in my opinion. Of course, it's not ideal if you were expecting for crypto overall to go up rapidly and you wanted quick in and out with some nice profits. It certainly will slow down the market overall, but it's a great opportunity to accumulate more crypto. If you're in a position to add more to your bags, these are the best opportunities essentially to build bigger capital, and then of course you're in much better position when the market picks up eventually. Also, if we do enter some sort of reaccumulation phase for crypto, this likely will mean that NFT market will pick up in exactly the same way it picked up over the summer or towards the end of the summer. So that's potentially something worth looking at. If crypto is going quite slow and you can potentially invest in something, then NFTs may be the way to go forward. NFT market overall has been pretty slow in the recent weeks. It picked up a little bit, but it's certainly nowhere near where it was in August, September, October. So it may be good opportunity to enter some NFT projects, and I'll be talking about that more in a video tomorrow. From my point of view, this is not necessarily a welcome dip, but it's a great buying opportunity. And if anything, it highlights the importance of taking out your profits. I made a video only a couple of weeks ago, in fact, about taking profits and my exit strategy. So I'll put a link at the end of this video. But in terms of opportunities, what I'm currently looking at are projects which I'm already invested in, but projects that dipped in price quite significantly. So if you watched my recent videos, you know that recently, if I've been buying anything, it was essentially projects in metaverse, gaming and NFT space. And of course, I bought the dip. I bought some Bitcoin, I bought some Veracity and Altura, but I'll be adding more to those bags. Maybe not Bitcoin, but certainly a few other projects, because it looks like the prices are still dipping a little bit today. So something I remark is, well, it's holding up really well because it had this massive pump just before the dip. but it's still quite a bit down from the all-time high, so it's potentially a pretty good buy. But what I'm looking more at, it's things like Superfarm, which is just above $1, and its all-time high was 474. So well, that's quite easy 4 to 5x once that it eventually picks up. Veracity, I bought some, I think about a week ago. I bought some more on Saturday. I will be buying some more today because, well, it just dipped to just over 3 cents, and its all-time high was 8.6 cents. So again, that's quite easy 3x. And the market cap is pretty low. It's only about 140 million at the moment. Altura, talked about this one many times. Really popular project. Market cap is now down to around 85 million. It's below 14 cents and its all-time high was 46 cents. So again, this could easily do 3-4x to go back to the previous level. And in fact, we didn't see Altura this cheap since late October. A lot of people were disappointed that they missed out on this opportunity on buying Altura, and it's a great buying opportunity right now. I sold quite a lot when it was above 30 cents. I sold quite a bit also around 23, I think, cents. Then I bought back just below 20, and I'll be certainly buying back more today around 13, 14, because it's a great entry point and the project is amazing. Polka City, I was actually looking at it recently because it seems to be just, if we look at the last 90 days, it was just sort of going up and down in that $1.50 to $2.50 range. Now it dipped, of course, quite a bit more. It's a low market cap project, only 40 million right now. And at a price below $1, I think, again, a great buying opportunity, especially with such low market cap. I think this will easily go way above its previous all-time high. So again, definitely worth investing in. And then there are a couple of other projects which are outside of that gaming, metaverse and NFT space, but I think they're worth considering depending how your portfolio is structured. Something like CardStarter, which is a launchpad on Cardano ecosystem. Of course, Cardano overall has been really slow in the recent months, and I've mentioned before that all the projects within Cardano ecosystem are underperforming at the moment. But this means that the entry prices are really, really good because eventually these projects will pick up. And something like CardStarter below $6, I mean, it's down over 90%. Eventually it will pick up back to those levels. It's extremely likely that it will when Cardano ecosystem will start booming. So, I mean, that's potentially a solid 10-15x straight away. Something like Polkadex, again, it's below $10. It was close to 40. There are plenty of amazing discounts right now. So if anything, I think the biggest issue is actually picking what to put your money in. And for me, it's still gaming projects, NFT, metaverse, because I think that they will pick up quicker than most other stuff. And yes, my picks, the ones I will definitely be putting more money in are Veracity, Altura, Polka City, possibly a little bit in Superfarm and Remark. And then, yes, I'm considering also other projects outside of that space because the price levels are so good. And if you are concerned about investing at this point because the market is down overall, well, if you look at Crypto Fear and Greed Index, it is at 16 now. We are in extreme fear territory, and we've been there for a couple of days, and before that we were in fear territory. But extreme fear is a sign that investors are too worried, and that could be a good buying opportunity. And Warren Buffett said that you should be buying when others are fearful, and you should be selling when others are greedy. So while investing at this point, of course, may feel a bit scary, well, it also presents a really good opportunity. So just to recap this video, I think overall we are in quite good position. It's a surprising move what happened over the last couple of days, but but it doesn't mean that the market cycle is ending. If anything, it's just confirming that the market cycle will be much longer than what some people expected. And essentially the two most likely scenarios are Bitcoin picking up quite rapidly over the next few days, closing the week above bull market support band, so above 51k level, 52k level at the time. And that would be then pretty strong indication that this was just a very short dip and we are back on the way up. The second possible scenario is that we will close the week below that level, and hopefully we will hold the 50-week moving average, which is around 48k. In which case we may expect slightly longer recovery, and potentially we may be looking at a few weeks of being again range bound, this time probably somewhere around, I don't know, 46 to 50k, maybe 52k level, essentially until we break and hold, until we break above 51k level and hold that as a support. That's what we ultimately want to see before we can expect the next solid move up. So overall, I remain optimistic. I think, yeah, the cycle will be a bit longer. I think this is a great buying opportunity, and especially if you feel like you missed your chance to get into a lot of those gaming projects that pumped a lot recently, I think this may be a really good next chance to get into them. There are plenty of other projects you could consider. Something like Chainlink is down to $17. I mean, it's been sitting quite firmly in the $25 to $50 territory for quite a while now. So, and its previous all-time high was around 50, if I remember correctly. It's a solid long-term investment, so that's potential good buy. ETH is holding up surprisingly well. It dipped less than most other cryptocurrencies, so that's really good to see. ADA, of course, that's now just above, well, sort of $20, $30. So again, that's a great buying opportunity. I know it's not been doing much over the last couple of months, but eventually time will come and it will do really well. I don't think there's any doubt about it. It's just slightly longer term investment than potentially some of the other coins. So you could invest in some of those large cap coins, not necessarily even Bitcoin or ETH, but something like ADA or Link, to somewhat de-risk your investment in smaller cap alts, because of course these large cap altcoins will hold their price level much better than the smaller caps. So in short, I think it's a great buying opportunity. Like I said, I bought the dip. I'm buying some more today, and I remain optimistic. And I'm hoping that the next few days will show a bit of recovery. Personally, I would like to see Bitcoin breaking up above that 51k level this week, and then just going up from there. But if we do enter another reaccumulation phase, well, that's exactly what we'll do. We'll just reaccumulate more and build up for the next leg up. So I think it's all good. So I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're not too worried about the current market situation. If you are, don't worry, it will improve. I think we are still in a good place. I don't think we are entering bear market anytime soon. So yeah, hopefully it's all good. If you enjoyed the content, please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.